I don't know if there's a bigger name than Robert Kiyosaki. And a lot of people respect Robert Kiyosaki. I respect Robert Kiyosaki, okay? We were just with him at PBD's birthday the other day, and I had a word with him.
About this.
I've interviewed Kiyosaki. He's the only person that would not say my catchphrase. He's the only person that would not say, save that money. He goes, no, I'm not saying it. And I'll tell you why. And he went on a rant about the Zimbabwe dollar and inflation, and I get it.
Good for him.
But here's the latest with Robert Kiyosaki. Have you heard about what he's been predicting in October? This is our first show in November. So we could have had a show maybe right before Halloween, but now this is our first show in November, and everything that he's been predicting that would happen in October, you know what happened?
It happened?
Didn't happen.
Ooh, Robbie K.
Ooh. Robert Kiyosaki. Anyway, here's the story, and we'll get it. And I want you guys to give me your honest feedback. If you think I'm right, I want you to say, Saz, you're right on this one, bro. Or Saz, you done messed up, bro. You just came at the king, Robert Kiyosaki. You just came at the crown? No. Stay in your lane, buddy. Call me out if that's something. But here's what's going on. Here's what Robert Kiyosaki did. And let's talk money right here. So basically, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a.k.a. Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, has basically been predicting a giant stock market crash in October. He came and said, look, it's happening. Stock market crash, October, mark my words, bet on it, it's going to happen. He did this at the end of September. So if Robert Kiyosaki predicts a crash, and doesn't say a crash is coming soon, a crash is coming this year. He says in October. You know, alarm bells should basically go up. You should say, okay, what does Kiyosaki know that I don't know? What does Kiyosaki know that the financial experts out there aren't predicting? CNBC, Bloomberg, they're not predicting this, but Kiyosaki is.
Right.
Okay? So basically it started with this. He tweeted this, that this is the end of September, beginning of October. Kiyosaki made this prediction. He tweeted, giant stock market crash coming in October. Why? And he lists these reasons. Treasury and Fed short on T-bills. Gold, silver, Bitcoin may crash too. Cash best for picking up bargains after a crash. Not selling gold, silver, Bitcoin, yet have lots of cash for life after stock market crash. Stocks, dangerous, be careful. So that's what Robert Kiyosaki came out, tweeted, you know what? Put his reputation, put himself out there on the line. And you know what, David?
What's up?
Well, now it's November. I don't know how close you follow the stock market these days. Stock market just reached all-time highs.
I was going to say, complete opposite happened.
Yeah, so no giant crash.
Yikes.
So it's got me thinking, Kiyosaki, what's going on here,
The
bro?
new Tom Zenner.
The new Tom Zenner. What's going on here? So, you know, I interviewed Kiyosaki. He's been talking about Bitcoin, gold, and silver for months, years now. And I actually asked him, this was when's Pat's birthday, October 18th, so he'd probably had a party late month, right around his birthdays, 2 weeks ago. I said, into his face, Kiyosaki, what's up? How you doing? You remember me? Yes, I remember you. We did an interview. Yeah, you wouldn't say save that money? Yeah, I still say don't save that money. Okay, cool. Hey, Kiyosaki, you predicted a stock market crash in October. Where are you at with this right now? Again, this was 2 weeks ago. He goes, no, it's going to happen. And maybe more of a bond market crash, but, I'm still sticking to my guns. Here's the problem I got right now. Maybe the bond market isn't exactly doing great, but who gives a shit about the bond market, especially if you're young? You shouldn't be investing in bonds. Stock market, index funds, ETFs, target date funds. How much do you love index funds, David?
I can't get enough.
You can't get enough of index funds. I can't get enough of index funds, okay? 401ks, Roth IRAs, all-time highs right now. Meanwhile, Kiyosaki's basically predicting a crash. What is going on, Kiyosaki?
Bobby.
I don't know what's happening. So I asked him, I said, Kiyosaki, what's going on? He goes, well, So here's my prediction. Here's what's going on. Sometimes when you're the man, and maybe you're not in the headlines anymore, and there's maybe younger people coming up, you want to make some headlines.
Yeah.
And he came out and put his reputation on the line and basically predicted this crash. Why say October? Why put your reputation on the line and say it's happening? Biggest stock market crash ever, October. It's November, stock market's all-time high. At what point do you say, Kiyosaki, bro, what's the credibility here?
That's what I was going to say.
I would never, to his face, disrespect him. I got first personal finance book I ever read, financial book, was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? I've interviewed the guy. I've had respect for the guy. But we do have different philosophies. Let me break this down right here. He says, again, Cash best for picking up bargains after a crash, okay? Have lots of cash for life after the stock market. The problem is this. Do you know how one acquires cash?
How one acquires cash?
Yeah.
The ATM? Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they save that money.
Yeah.
They get their paycheck, they make money, and they save it.
Sure.
Okay, so Robert, this is the argument that I had with Kiyosaki. He says, don't save that money. We crazy? He encourages a lot of people. He's a big real estate guy. So it's also one of those things like, where are you getting your advice? If you're into real estate and you're into, you know, commercial properties and taking on debt, taking on mortgages, taking on loans, Kiyosaki's probably got some sick advice for you. But if you're one of those people that's like, look, I don't like debt. I don't want to take on debt. I don't want to put on more risk. I want to save that money. I want to be investing in the stock market. Kiyosaki's basically does not stand for that at all.
Right.
But he's sort of contradicting to himself. So it's the fact that he's saying have a lot of cash on hand. This is the same guy that's basically saying fuck cash, take on debt, and put your money into real estate. So it's kind of like he's having it both sides. So this is going to seem like I'm disrespecting Kiyosaki. There's going to be people, we know how, you know, YouTube trolls, who are you to talk trash about Kiyosaki? You ain't shit, buddy.
Right.
I hear you. I'm not on Kiyosaki's level right now. That's true. I got a long way to go. But at some point, when someone makes an incorrect prediction or puts their name on the line and it doesn't happen, are you allowed to, you know,
I think
call them out on them being wrong? Is this what's fair?
Is this the first time that this has happened where he's predicted something and it's been opposite? I mean,
don't
because you
know.
can be like, okay, well, you know, he miscalculated. Give the guy a break.
Fair enough. But the flip side,
Weathermen are wrong all the time. It's literally
weathermen
their
are
job.
wrong every other day. But my point is this: Kiyosaki knows what he's talking about. He ain't no fool. He ain't no dummy. Why come out and say this? Why come out and put your reputation online? I've been following the stock market all of October. Not that I'm never not following the stock market. All of October, basically thinking, okay,
here it comes.
It's coming.
It's coming.
The Kiyosaki crash. Where is it? What? Bitcoin, all-time high. Stock market, all-time high.
Dude, I mean,
everything, crypto, all-time high. Shinu Ibu, whatever the freaking, you know, Inu Shibu, whatever the hell the stock. Ethereum, all-time high. Bitcoin.
Shiba
Inu, whatever. We're going to get into that in the crypto corner. But at some point, it's like, Kiyosaki, you were wrong, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe I want a retraction. Maybe I want him to say, hey, guys, I was wrong. Maybe that's what I want. I don't know if he's the kind of guy that's
it's
going to do
November
that.
4th. Maybe he'll get to that. But I think, you know, everyone
I don't
has
know.
a right to be wrong.
You guys let me know in the comments. Am I out of pocket here right now? Do you guys trust Kiyosaki's advice here? If there's a stock market crash, what are you guys going to do about it? I want to know what's going on. Let me read the rest of this story, okay? Again, I'm all about save that money to invest in the stock market. That's my entire strategy business model. I don't own real estate. I don't own property. If I'm going to invest in real estate, I invest in REITs. Why? Because I like to keep my overhead low, right? And my flexibility high. I like to keep it moving. I like to keep it grooving. I like to rent every few years when I make more money and have more money in the stock market and invest more. I'll move into a nicer place. Now, keep in mind, I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. It'll happen someday, David. PBD says it'll pay for my wedding if I get married in the next 3 years.
I heard, dude.
We'll
you have
see.
to get married now.
Yeah, at this
Free
point,
wedding.
save that money. Free wedding. I mean, hello.
Save that money.
By the way, I've done that before. It doesn't work out well. But Kiyosaki, as much respect as I have for him, he's kind of wrong.
I stand on the opposite side. Yes, I mean, obviously he was wrong, but if Kiyosaki predicts something, I'm not going to listen.
I'm just saying.
And then you could go into, is this personal? Is this like a personal, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, did he try and say it was going to crash so people would sell and then things would...
I don't know. But here's some more quotes from Kiyosaki. And let's make this about our friends at home. I see people listening. I see people commenting. I see people saying that, Saz, you're right. I trust you. I see people saying, hey, buddy, shut your stupid face. You got nothing over Kiyosaki. Cool. I respect you on that. I said in the onset of this, Kiyosaki is way more established than me. I'm not trying to say that I'm on his level. I'm just calling a spade here. Here's the deal. A couple Kiyosaki quotes. He also shared this. The primary reason I invest in Bitcoin, gold, and silver is because I do not trust our leaders, the Fed, the Treasury, nor the stock market. Unfortunately, mom and pop who save money do. He does have a point there. I would not trust our leaders to make big, grand decisions with your life. This is why you need to have financial independence, not rely on the government, not rely on Social Security, not rely on savings rates or anything like that. This is why you got to reach financial independence. listening to advice like this. He says, I like crashes. A crash is good. A crash is a good time to get rich. I feel you. So that's why I'm very optimistic on gold, silver, and Bitcoin, not on stocks. Okay. Well, let's see where Bitcoin is as of today.
So he is a fan of Bitcoin.
Huge fan of Bitcoin.
Oh, for some reason I was under the impression he wasn't. Here, I can pull it up here. Bitcoin is at 61,000.
61,000. Now, if you go back and you check where Bitcoin was 1 month ago, it was at 42,000, a little over 40. So not only did it not crash, it's gone up exponentially. All I'm saying is Kiyosaki's. So what's my point here?
The button.
What happened right there?
Tell your point.
Tell your point. Okay, listen. It's always important to put things in perspective. You know how old Robert Kiyosaki is?
I want to say 78.
He's 74, 75. Pull up his age. I think he's probably 74. Don't forget who's giving you this advice. This is a 74-year-old man worth $100 million probably. He's a rich
He's 74.
dad. He's 74. He's a rich dad, okay? David, who's just starting to out in his career, just starting to make money, just starting to save, just learning what an index fund is gangbusters on ROI.
Gangbusters.
Everything that Robert Kiyosaki talks about might not be applicable to you or our friends at home. If our friends are just kind of getting going, they're like, look, I'm trying to save, I'm trying to invest, I'm trying to get a 401k, maybe I'm going to invest in a little Bitcoin. You're not exactly on Robert Kiyosaki's level. There's levels to this game. If there's levels, 0, you got no money. Level 1, you're starting to make a little money. Number 2, he's on level 5. Right? Maybe I'm on level 3 or 4 right now. I'm not on Kiyosaki level, PBD level 5, but I'm doing all right. I'm probably on level 4, right? But not all advice is applicable to everyone. So if you're young and you're investing for the long term and you don't think the world is coming to an end, when people talk about a stock market crash and the world is coming to an end, honestly, tune out the noise. That's something that I'm a very big proponent of. Look, I've lived through 3 different stock market crashes right now.
Oh my God.
2000, the dot-com bubble. 2008, right, when I started investing. 2007, 2008, which was the Great Recession.
Right.
And now 2020 with COVID. And the stock market's at an all-time high, bro. So what am I saying here is that there's always going to be people basically saying, stock market crash, now's the time, world's coming to an end, who knows what's happening. But every single time, 6 months later, a year later, a couple years later, the market's at all-time high. So understand that
the market recovers faster nowadays than it did back then. Is that a thing?
No, I mean, dude, the stock market crashed
listen,
2000, and 6 months later was at an all-time high.
Gotcha. And even the COVID thing, like the COVID crash is just because people, that's like a temporary thing. As soon as COVID was gone, and I say that very lightly because it never left.
A lot of air quotes going on.
Yeah, because that's like, when people are more vaccinated and there are more things being opened up, then that thing was bound to just skyrocket back up. So
listen, here's what I'll tell you is this. And there needs to be 2 things on your mind. There's a difference between saving and investing. Now, you might say, what's the difference, Saz? One is short-term, one is long-term. Saving is for the next 1, 2, 3 years, for sure. That's saving money. Do not put any of that money in the market. Investing is long-term, minimum 5 years, in my opinion, okay? 10 years, retirement, 50 years down the line. One is risk, one is safety and security. Understand the difference. You feel me? So if someone says there's a stock market crash and you're 25 years old, you're 35 years old, bro, you got time. Especially if it's your 401k or a Roth IRA, that's money you're not going to be touching for another 30 plus years. Now, the reason that you keep your money in cash or savings is so you don't have to worry about a stock market crash. If there's a crash, you keep cash on hand, and then you maybe buy some distressed assets, buy the dip, whatever you want to call it. But if you're young, you should be looking forward to a crash because that means, all right, cool, that's an opportunity to buy more. Right. Okay? Understand the difference between saving and investing. So what's my point with here? This crash didn't happen. Kiyosaki got it wrong. He usually gets it right. But if he's just allowed to be wrong and then nobody says anything, what's going to stop him from just making more ridiculous, salacious opinions, right? Prophecies.
Yeah.
Would love to hear Kiyosaki's opinion on this. I'm sure he's out there spinning this. Again, I respect Kiyosaki. This is not being disrespectful to Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
That's like saying, LeBron is probably the second best basketball player of all time. If he's got a shitty game and he goes 2 for 20, I'm going to say, bro, you had a horrible game.
Right.
I know you're the GOAT. I know you're amazing. You know, Tom Brady, in my opinion, best football player of all time, he threw a pick 6 to lose the game last week. Hey, bro, you messed up. So that's where I'm at with Kiyosaki. Are you the GOAT? Are you the GOAT of personal finance? Yeah. Are you worth $100 million? Are you a rich dad? Hell yeah, you are, bro.
Yeah, he is.
But you're wrong on this.
He had a bad game.
He had a bad game. And it's out in the open, it's out in the public. So anyway,
in the fourth quarter, he had a bad fourth quarter.
He did have a bad fourth quarter. Anyway, I hope the stock market keeps trending upwards. I hope you guys are saving that money so you can invest. Save that money so you can invest. That's a big deal. And listen, tune out the noise. I think that is basically what I'm saying. I think if there's something that I can put a button on this entire conversation, a little ribbon, a nice little Mexican ribbon for your piñata look that you got going on over there, David. Sick look. Is that you need to turn out the noise. Tune it out. There's going to be people telling there's crashes. There's going to be telling you that Bitcoin's going to $1 billion. There's going to be people that it's telling you that Bitcoin's going to 0. There's going to be telling you that crypto ain't shit. There's going to be people saying that the real estate market is going up. It's going down. There's going to be 1 million opinions. Actually, technically 8 billion opinions. But you know they say that opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they usually smell, David. Okay?
It's one of my favorite lines.
There it is, David. I am heated. I am fired up.
I noticed.
But because I care. Because I care. What about you, David? Weigh in on this before we move on.
Yeah, again, I still stand with, look, like you said, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Every GOAT has a bad game. He's going to make another prediction. He might be right. He might be wrong. Might be have 2 bad games in a row.
Okay.
Though in this case, it's like, all right, buddy. You got one more.
You got one more, Robert.
After that.
Anyway, it was pretty interesting because when I shook his hand, took a picture, said what's up, spent some time with him, he spun it and he said, look, man, I was talking about the bond market. Well, you specifically said stock market here.
Did I say stock? I meant bond.
I meant bond. Okay, nice spin job. We'll give you a pass this time, Mr. Kiyosaki. Kimosabi. However, don't let it happen again.
Don't let it happen again, Bobby.
All we talk is money. All we talk is money.
If you enjoyed that short clip from the Cast, click here to watch another. Click here to watch the full episode, or just stay broke.